Feel blessed. Be blessed. And stay blessed. Good morning. A drop. Some would say they are nothing more than a drop in the ocean. But the truth of the matter is, the ocean is in the drop that is you. We all have the ability and the capacity to be able to create life. I don't mean just an aspect of creating a child. I mean an aspect of creating something out of nothing. The fact that you started with nothing more than a mere idea or a feeling of being more than what you were, and you did the conscious actions it took for you to become more you. You see, in order to reprogram the mind, you must be willing to bombard it with more information, new information, enough information that it starts to drown out and push back all of the old information that you may believe. Getting rid of all the old truth you once believed in. It's kind of like that moment when you grow up with someone and then you get to a point or to a time where you see that person not just for the good person that they are, but you also start to see the bad part of them, and it makes you want to shy away from them. And the truth of the matter is that part was always there, but because of your perception, you chose not to see it. But then sometimes life gives you certain things where you have no choice but to see it, because it keeps replaying itself until it becomes more blinding in actions, to where you're just sitting there and you have no choice but to simply see it for what it is. You have to be willing to lift that veil. Hell, in my opinion, rip that motherfucker down. Get rid of the veil. There's so much more beyond the veil of what we perceive life to be, because we are conditioned to see life as we are told to see. But once you get to a state of self, you start seeing life as it truly is. No need for someone to tell you that the sun is shining if you see it shining yourself. Once you begin to understand that you can actually create life, it's a very powerful moment. It's a very powerful moment. It doesn't even matter how simplistic the creation is. It's simply the fact that you created something that was not there until you gave the conscious actions to create it. It's a beautiful thing. We embrace that moment of understanding that we are creators. We are creators. We have the ability to give so much back to life. But you first have to be willing to move from a state that is different than the state you stand in now. I know that's easier said than done. I get that. But then again, this conversation is that seed that can be dropped and it can grow later. But it's still the seed that pushes out a seed of all the doubt and worry you may have had before, of thinking you're weird because you think certain things, or because no one around you speaks of these things. You feel like, well, something's wrong with me because everyone else is talking about this, but all I can think about is that. Doesn't make you weird. Learn to embrace the oddballness of who you are. Because it takes the oddball, someone to think outside of the box, to create a new box. Because if you're just like everyone else in the norm, then you just see things that everyone else sees. So you feel no need to create because no one else around you feels the need to create. But once you start being the oddball and start seeing that there's something more, then you're on your way to creating. Just embracing all that you are with the perfect imperfections that you may carry. You're still beautiful. I'm still beautiful. You're still beautiful. We are all just beautiful. No matter the wrongs we may have committed. That's just human nature. But as long as you make conscious actions to eradicate that shit, then it will be balanced out. It's only when you do wrong and you don't do the right things to make that wrong right. That's when you're truly cheating yourself and those around you. It's taking that moment and standing up and just simply saying, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. Because you can't know everything. No matter how smart you may be at this current moment, there's still 1,000 things you may never know unless you take the conscious actions to know them. It's just crazy. It is. It's just crazy. It all starts with you. It starts with you. That's the way that drop becomes more than just a drop. It becomes a drop that holds potential to create a wave that now is a tidal wave of change because you have done what it takes to give that wave momentum. Each action you commit in that direction, it makes that ripple get that much stronger, affecting that much more as it displays out and gets everything in its path wet and something new. You have to be willing to just simply see that you are more than what you've been told. You have to understand that it all starts with you. As an individual, we may not have the capacity needed to change the entire world. But with each individual that chooses to be more them, it simply raises the vibration, pushing that wave that much further of everyone loving themselves for who they are. Once you learn to love you, truly love you, then there is nothing outside of you that can affect you. It's simply allowing life to be life and still choosing to give back love instead of hate. Even if it's a moment of misunderstanding and pain, you still choose to give back love as your answer. Because that's the one thing that can change this world, is love. But love is like nothing else. Love is just like anything else. It has different levels that can occur. There is a such thing as the perfect love, no different than there's a such thing as a dysfunctional love. They both coexist at the same time in the same moment. Opposite ends of the spectrum. There is a such thing as a bad love, no different than there's such thing as a good love. So you have to understand both aspects of anything as in light and dark, because every good person has a bad side. And the real question is, are your actions more based off of your bad side or your good side? Do you feed more into your fears or do you feed more into your faith? That's when you break it down to the most simplistic aspect of life. That's what life is. Do you move more from your fears or from your faith? Because each answer will give a different path that you may go on. One takes a little bit longer to get home when the other one gets you on a shorter path to home. It's just understanding that you are so much more. And sometimes that's all it takes. It's just a thought as simple as the fact that you are so much more can blossom into something so beautiful that it takes you into a place that even you didn't think you would go. But because you dropped that seed, you fed that seed, and you gave to that seed, it grew into something beautiful, and you allow the branches of it to take you to places you thought you would never reach. Oh my goodness, you are so much more. You are the ocean in a drop, and not the other way around. No different than the fact that you are a soul with a body, and not a body with a soul. Again, it sounds so simple to say, but to understand and live, it's two different things. It's two different things. I could keep going. I'm not though. I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm gonna stop ranting for right now. But just understand how much more beauty you have to give to this world. And it all just stems and starts with you just accepting you for what you are, whatever it may be. The only way to understand there is a problem, to see there is a problem. The only way to break a cycle is to recognize there is a cycle. Becoming more consciously aware of your life. And then responding from a conscious state and not a subconscious state where you basically just repeat what you already have been doing. The more conscious you become, unfortunately, I must say, there's more pain that's going to come. But through that pain, it will bring you lessons and values in life that you would never have had and would have no reason to appreciate if it wasn't for those moments that you go through what you go through when it comes to that pain, to becoming more conscious of life. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to stop there. Feel blessed. Be blessed. And by all means, please, your power. Understand your worth. Stand all that you are. Please, and stay blessed. Good morning. Good morning to you all.